Hello, fans of Kentucky. Manchester United put in a roller coaster of a performance against Bournemouth. A 4-4 game that was a thriller of a match. Had lots and lots of goal-match action and end-to-end game that had entertainment, disappointment, and promise. Entertainment for all of the fans and even the neutrals. Watching 8 goals scored in just one game is quite some entertainment. Disappointment for the fans, mainly the Manchester United fans. The Bournemouth fans could feel disappointed because they were ahead at some point, but majorly for Manchester United fans because that first half performance was enough to win the game, and promise too, because that first half too also offered a glimpse of how football could be under Ruben Amorim. And here are the 3 things I learned from this game. Number 1, Amorim ball is very entertaining. Honestly, it's been a normal discussion that Manchester United are sitting finding it hard to create chances. But in the first half against Bournemouth alone, Cunha and Bruno created 8 chances, and the entire Bournemouth team created 6 chances. It was a thriller of the first 45 minutes because the ball was flowing so freely. That was Amorim ball in full flow. It was so exciting and so pleasing to watch for Manchester United fans. Honestly, it was a good omen that we ended the game leading, because we would have ended it on level scores, but we went ahead in the game through Casemiro's nodding. And having 17 shots in the game, 17 goal attempts. That was a record Premier League number for this season. No other team has had 17 goal attempts in the Premier League this season, in the first half. It was very disappointing that only 4 of that was on target and only 2 went further to see the back of the net. It was quite disappointing, but it offered lots and lots of promise that as time goes on, under more coaching from Amorim, we stand to see better and better and better footballing at Old Trafford. Number 2, Senne Lammers is only getting up to speed in the Premier League. Senne Lammers, he's only just catching up to speed in the Premier League, because it's not when a team concedes 4 goals in a match, you could be forgiven to think that the keeper had a very awful game, but you can't say that for Senne Lammers. The entire goals he conceded against Bournemouth was majorly down to defensive frailties, defensive absenteeism. The Leeds could have covered a lot more ground than Eden Heaven was doing yesterday, but that doesn't leave Senne Lammers out of any blame, because the pace of the Premier League is catching him out. The few number of goals he has conceded in recent times has been to a split-second delay in reaction. He has been having those split-second delays in reaction. A perfect example is the Tavernier free kick goal. If you watch the goal closely, you will understand that had this guy moved just a split-second earlier than he did, that was going to count as a save, and he would have saved that goal. Honestly, he needs to. It's very obvious. It's showing on his body. He's just a young keeper, not just young. He's new to the Premier League, so he's bound to have this period where he adjusts fully to the Premier League. He's a very good keeper in the air. He controls the box, but he just needs to pick up with the pace of the league, because even the celebration from Tavernier showed you that he trusted wholly on the shot power rather than any other technique he tried to apply. It was mainly a shot power for that free kick to enter. His celebration was proof enough of it. Thirdly, our attackers need to learn clinicality. Honestly, it's not every day that you create the amount of chances that Manchester United created over the period of that game, and you score only 4 goals. We could have gone on to score 7, 8, 9 goals. Honestly, we create so many chances, and it's not surprising that we have the biggest XG, the biggest expected goals in the Premier League, but we are second in terms of the actual goals scored. It's no surprise, because we are not being clinical enough. Mbemo, he seems to have his head wrapped around Cameroon at the moment. Honestly, Mbemo has his head wrapped around Cameroon, right from not qualifying for the World Cup. Now he's headed off for the AFCON, and I could understand him. Against Bournemouth, he had 2 chances to convert, 2 chances to put the ball in the back of the net, and he sent the ball to Cameroon. I don't know why his head is just. He doesn't just have his head in the game right now, and here is praying that he goes to the AFCON and has the best of performances, which is going to spur him on when he comes back to join us towards the end of January. Honestly, I'm rooting for you to have the best of performance in the AFCON and come back fresh and firing on all cylinders. Cunha could have had 1 or 2 more goals than the one he got against Bournemouth. He could have had an extra goal or 2, because the chances were there and he just needed the clinicality. I'm very happy that he's finally starting to tap into his creative genuinity. That creative genius in him, he's finally starting to tap into it. And I just want to see that clinical player I used to watch at Wolves that could score goal from nowhere. Amad Diallo, what an electric performance. But there are points where you could have passed the ball instead of dribbling, or where you could have. There are a few tweaks you could just go about changing. But that performance against Bournemouth, electric. That was very impressive. And it's no surprise that after the game, Semenyo was literally applauding you. He swapped shirts with Semenyo, and that's testament to his performance in the game. Bruno Fernandes, I don't know what to say. I think Bruno Fernandes saw the argument that was flying around a few days ago about him and some certain player in La Liga. And his performance against Bournemouth was just like, please, I never want to see this comparison again. Because Bruno is just Bruno. He's on that level, he's just there. I don't see any other person competing with him on that Bruno level, because his entire career is just being dampened by the fact that Manchester United is going through a lot right now. But Bruno Fernandes is a world-class player, a world-class midfielder, and he's just on his own level, on his own. Tell me your other observations from the Manchester United versus Bournemouth game, which offered lots of entertainment and lots of goal match action. Tell me your other observations in the comment section. Thank you.